Okay, what's up? I'm just going to ramble. I'm just going to go through this as fast as possible. I do have a little bit of ADHD, so if I just start skipping around, I'm sorry. We'll do another video. Here's a session. We're going to start with drums. I have all the EQs on them right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. And I'll just kind of walk through, maybe start with the kick and then just move on from there. Also, if you see clipping or something like that, no, you didn't. It sounds good, so we're just going to roll with it. Okay, so this past weekend we did praise, so pretty boring drum parts, to be honest, but yeah, let's hit it. So this is no EQs on here. Okay, so already really solid starting bass. Typo. Kick in. No, kick in. Okay. Solid starting bass. Using a Franklin kit. 12, 16, 22. Black Beauty on the snare. I'm going to go ahead and just solo the kick. Let you hear that. So, okay. It's a little quiet, but that's okay. Everything will kind of bring it up. So, let's just start. Really simple. This is my EQ that I use for the kick. Most of my kicks are kind of tuned in the same frequency range, so they always usually hit right here, and it sounds good. So this is the kick. I start with a bass. This is a like a stock template from Logic, refresh kick, and then I just kind of change it up a little bit. So already sounds great. Beta 91 on the inside. Additive EQ right around here, where it's kind of peaking a little bit, and then cut all this out. A little bit more slap around 6K, usually 5K, just kind of depends. And then I use a console EQ, this guy right here, pop kick. The stock on that, though, usually is like way, it's at like 110 or something on the low frequency, and it goes up a little too high. So I like to roll it back down. Just add a little bit of more color to it. So this is off. Here it is on. A little more attacky, a little more sticky there. Okay. And then the last thing I got is I send it to a compressor bus. So Logic compressor right here. It's the, I think this is the FET, like Logic's version of it or whatever. So threshold, -25, ratio 4:1, 0, whatever this is, just kind of over here. Like I said, I'm not the smartest with this stuff as far as technicality goes. Just kind of roll with it, but there it is. Now we're in beef mode. Kick out, very similar. I got a gain plugin on here. I don't know why. It's probably not much. There's the gain. You know what that does. These are flipped. Okay. So here's the channel. It's a D6 on the out, which is almost counterintuitive because D6 is like really clicky already. But with the D6, I don't know. It's a different kind of clicky. So adds. Here's console EQ. Same kind of thing. So just adding a little bit more color to it. So 2 plugins. That's it. That's all you need. Don't need a bunch of crazy stuff. I do use some crazy things, and I'll show you those in a little bit. And then sending it to that compressor bus. Yeah. All right. Snare bottom. Don't really do anything crazy. EQ. Kind of shelve it around where the snare is hitting, and then kind of go crazy over here, so it's nice and sparkly. And then I do add. I send my snare bottom to a reverb because I want to. Hats. Basic, nothing crazy. I don't really focus too much on hats. unless it's like a very hi-hat specific, like if we do like Spirit Move or something like that, and you know it's like use a lot of hi-hats, then I'll kind of focus on that. But I don't know, I don't go crazy with it. I just kind of move on. Here's the trigger channel. We'll come back to this. There's a lot of ways to do the trigger. I use Trigger 2 from Steven Slate. You can put it on the actual snare channel and just roll with it like that, and then up here on the mix, you can, you know, dial it in. But I like to just copy and paste another channel and then have it at 100, and then I just kind of blend it in. Send it to some different reverbs and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's actually do floor first. So here's floor tom. Sounding great. Gain. These are backwards again too. What the heck? So you can already tell, like I use a lot of the same couple EQs. So shelving off that like really low resonance over here. It's peaking. We'll listen to it right here. This is kind of where it's shining. And then my buddy Dylan told me like 5K is like where it's going to pop a little bit. So I've like always done that now. Here's the difference without the 5K. It's subtle. It's nothing crazy, but yeah. Now let's go console EQ. Also, pretty subtle. Console EQ off. On. Just like kind of poking through a little bit, you know. Mid frequency around 5K. High, don't really use it. Sometimes I will, depends, but you don't want to go crazy with it because then it's going to start making the cymbals shine through the floor tom, and we don't want that. And then obviously compressor. So I have a shells compressor kind of thing where I just send everything there. Rack tom, same thing. These are like all backwards. All right, there's the, dang, that sounds good. Again, I start with the floor tom EQ. It's like Logic, so drums, I'm not going to click it because it's going to change my EQ, but floor tom EQ gets me pretty close. And then I just watch it. Yeah, that's where it's hitting. And honestly, dude, that's a 12. It sounds pretty good for being a 12. I wish we would have got a 13. I was in my 12 era when we ordered this, and I was just like, oh, it's got to be 12. They're so easy to tune. They are, but I like 13s, definitely. I've kind of figured them out. So, console EQ. Yeah. And then the compressor. Compressor just makes it pop more. So, well, let's go to snare. Snare top. We've got a Black Beauty. Same thing. Look at this. Well, here's raw. Just no EQ. No. I tune my snares higher. Hopefully you do too. Let's stop doing the Bethel thing. It's kind of dead. It's not dead. It's useful for certain songs and certain, you know, things. It's not I don't know. It's not, what's the word? It's not like I would use this in every song. But if I was playing a song that was very specific to that, I would tune it low or use a side snare. I don't know. Here's the EQ though on that. Here we go. And I always I've never found, that's a lie. Sometimes I feel like 400 is useful. This range right here. This is nothing. Like that's kind of boxy territory. We don't like that. But then you cut it and it's just kind of, oh, there's the beef of it. So you just kind of play with it, figure it out. Here we are, console EQ. Again, this is no console EQ. Console EQ. Yeah. I got the drive up a little bit more on it. Output model is smooth. The drive is up a little bit more. Just kind of, you know, I don't know, giving it some more body, some more beef. Then it's got its own compressor over here. Let's see what we got. I think Yeah, I'm using the same compressor pretty much. It's loud, but it sounds good. All right, let's go to overheads. Overheads, this is where I started getting my plugin world where I use other plugins. So for this, I'm using the Slate, the virtual mix rack. I freaking love this. I built a rooms preset. I just call it rooms pre, but it's pretty much just overheads. I use it at home. Also use it on this. It just works. It sounds really good. And I can just kind of like set it and forget it. So real quick, we've got saturation, EQ, this little lift right here. You know, whatever. Some people shelve all the low end. I don't know. I just kind of, I play with it. I figure out another EQ because I want another EQ. And then I've got the de-esser right here to just kind of just soothe it a little bit, I guess. And then my favorite compressor ever, the distressor. So distressor on here, 6:1 ratio all the way up. It's on 2. Just kind of leave these settings here. This is no EQ. It's like got nice character in the toms and stuff too. So I know it's for cymbals, but whatever. And then here is the here it is on. So yeah. All right, and then I got a channel EQ over here. Just the shelf, a little bit of that low end, and then what we got over here. Oh yeah, send it to reverb eventually, just because. Okay, now let's listen to. Oh, I do have the drum bus. This is something I started doing recently. I don't know if I'm going to change it or not. I used to have everything in the drum bus, so kick in, kick out, snare bottom, hats, rack tom, floor tom, but. And maybe I'll just stop using a compressor. But I realized when I do that, the compressor in here kind of like smashes it a little bit too much and is like taking away from that character. So I do like the characteristics of this EQ, of this channel strip here. And I like having the compressor too. But just for everything else, I'm going to mute the trigger. I'm going to bring everything else up. Bring it in. This is all the drums together, EQ'd. All right, chillin'. Let's go. Let's listen to reverbs. So I use 2 reverbs for snare. Space Designer. Actually, kind of 3 reverbs. This is just Space Designer, just the stock. I saw Aaron Sterling talk about it, and he's like, a lot of the stuff I use is this. I might be taking this way out of context, but short answer was he just pretty much uses it, at least said that he used this for a lot of his stuff, just the stock. It's like when you open Space Designer, this is it. 1.8, large and bright. And let's listen to it. Nice little plate. And then this is like my own secret trick. I don't know if it's really a secret trick or not. I use the reverse slap gate, but then I reverse it so it's not reversed right here. So that's how it normally is. I reverse it right there. I'm going to turn that on and then wet all the way up. And I don't know, it just sounds like, so this is the reverb by itself. Oh wait, that's everything. Hold on. It's just like, oh, I gotta unmute everything. Okay. Like, there's a lot going on in there, but in the context of everything, that's kind of all you hear. That like, you know, widening of the snare there. So I don't know. I like it. I'm chilling with it. Okay, let's hit the trigger real quick. Let's talk about that. Trigger. So it's just the snare, not EQ'd. Here's the trigger. It's going to be very loud, very big. Not that loud, but I'm using my Mapex close on here, and then the room. So I've got 2. So Mapex close mic is the best one on there, and then the room mic with that. just because of the snare pitch, I tuned these down to like -11 on there. You can see right here where I did that. Also send that to compressor, same snare compressor. Nice, sounded good. So let's listen context. So drum bass, trigger. Okay, here we go, all together. Nice, very beefy. Also forgot the toms. Maybe I didn't forget. Where are they at? Yeah, I sent the toms have their own reverb too, which I think is Space Designer. It's like the same thing. Yep, 1.8, large and bright. Look at that, same thing. All right, drums. You heard them. They sound great. Let's move on to bass. So this week we have my buddy Alfonso playing bass. He has a pedal board, so I really don't need to do much because he's kind of like self-editing live. Let's see. Let's go just bass. Nice. Using the pick, super chunky, lots of dirt. So for that, this is what I do for bass. Have the Slate virtual mix rack again. Use just standard template, aggressive fat bass. I think they use a different EQ strip or whatever. I use this one just because I like it. So this is off. On. Yeah, I like it. And then the Logic EQ. I found I'm not a bass player. I can play ish, but I same thing like the snare. Just kind of scoop out a little bit right here. So this is off. It gives that low like more room to shine in my professional humble opinion. So it's bass right there. Let's just move down the line. Got room microphones. Got two big old called sky mics. I just still call them room mics. Whatever. Don't do anything crazy with them. They are super bass heavy. They're like above the stage, facing down, but you would think they're right in front of the subs with how they hit. So let's listen to them. They're pretty quiet. I'm gonna turn them up. Okay, cool. It just, gives you that live ambiance, whatever. So first thing is channel EQ. I just gotta shelve all that bass because it sounds good, but I've got a bass for that. Second is I've got a live room mix thing, little template that I built for that. And you can see it's kind of like the same format. So I've got the saturation, EQ, lift, EQ, de-esser, and then going back to the distressor. All right, now let's take a listen. This is without. All right, nice. Not much to say about that. Guitars. Let's go to guitars. My favorite. I love guitars. All right. My buddy Casey, my best friend, playing guitar. And I low-key hate him because he has set the standard so high. Now when I play with other guitar players, I'm like, why can't you be like Casey? So yeah, he has great tone. Go check him out. Let's listen to him. Nice. This is no EQ. This is just him. I will know I put the guitars in a bus just try to keep everything clean. So EG stage left. And I'm just pretty lazy. I literally just kind of do this same Slate virtual mix rack thing. I do this just to make it pop out more, and I'm pretty much just using the compressor as using the makeup gain out of that just to make it stick out a little bit more. So I do like an A and B, make sure it doesn't sound too different because I'm a guitar player, so using a lot of pedals and stuff. I don't want to, give a false representation of what their tone actually sounds like. So this is without. Then here's it on. Yeah, great. And then my boy Patrick, shout out to Patrick, helped me get this setup right now going because I've never done this before. I was on lead this weekend, so let's take a listen to him. Let me go to the actual lead line. Yeah. Bro was on it. Same thing. Tone sounds fantastic. I use a different compressor, but I'm pretty much just using the gain just to make it pop. So turn that on. Oh yeah, it's loud. It's like probably just destroying everybody's ears, but it's fine. All right, guitars. Let's move on to keys. All right, with keys, a little different. Our keys output's usually pretty low, so I start with the console EQ, and then I have the drive up quite a bit to just kind of make it pop a little bit more. So here we go, keys. This is on, off. Kind of scooping out some of that bass. I want to leave room for the bass player to kind of do his thing there. So that's the console EQ on. Let's take a look at the virtual mix rack, see what I got going on here. I couldn't tell you where I got this from. I think I just started dropping stuff in, and I was just like, yeah, it sounds good. So this is off. And then here we go with it on. Nathan was on keys this week, killing it. Sounded amazing. Here's our synth. It's literally the atmosphere pad or whatever. I messaged the girl who's the MD for Passion. I asked her about it, and then she told me about it and gave me all these great resources to go to. It was like there was like a 3 or 4 month build time, but we got that, and it is fantastic. So seamless transitions, I love it. And I just same thing, virtual mix rack. I have this thing, it's called Pad Wakey. It's just a preset that's already in there. So let's hear it on. Just helps it stick out a little bit, Sounds good. Vocals. I do have vocal template here for our handhelds 1 through 5, but I typically don't mix vocals. Nothing against vocals, guys. My Instagram and YouTube is for drums, so that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm going to mute the tracks, and I'm just going to listen. We're going to listen to the full band real quick. So here's the whole band. I'm like there's no tracks in there, but I'm like super happy with that because if I'm like just sitting down listening, I can hear the rhythm guitar, I can hear the lead, I can hear the drums, the beat of the drums, I can feel and hear the bass, and I can even hear the keys poking out in there. So everything feels really, really balanced, which I love. And then the tracks is just like the sprinkle on top. So let me go. We'll keep going here. And for tracks, they're technically already like EQ'd and stuff, like in when you're getting them. But there's no rule that says you can't re-EQ it or do something. So for percussion, I typically don't. I just put a gain on it just to make it pop up a little bit more because ours is pretty low. synth rhythm. Let's see what we got going on. So this is actually the synth lead. I built the tracks that week, and I actually put the synth lead in the synth rhythm. So my bad, guys. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to move it. Look, it's a preset again. Pad Wakey, using the same thing again. Killer. So a little Coldplay going on. Dun, 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 dun. And then we got the choir down here. Sometimes I use the choir, sometimes I don't. Just to kind of like let people know what the song is. Synth bass. This is for praise. They have a thing called synth bass and bass 2. And bass 2 is just like a bunch of like chords and like chorusy stuff. So I leave it in there. It's kind of like just under everything. But let's listen with everything together. Here we go. Uh-oh. We've all been there. All right. Last thing. The new like update in Logic, they have this mastering assistant, which I'm not gonna take it off now, because if I took it off, some stuff would be crazy, and I'm not ready to show you that side of me yet. But I put that on, and it just kind of analyzes everything, and it's incredible. So you literally just put it on right down here. Reanalyze section, analyzes it. I kind of do it per song or whatever, and then it's got these different like characters right here, characteristics of it. So let's go right here and like take a listen to it. Here's Valve. Punch. For this song specifically, Transparent just sounded the best. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I kind of flew through that. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We got a drum pad in here. I think that's just gain. I just have a gain plugin on that. Quite a bit, 16.3 dB, just because you can't really... I don't know. It's bounced out low. So I think I did like a. Oh, this is the down chorus part. Whatever. Boom. Let's listen to it again. It's cool. It's raining now too, so I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like super loud and annoying. Bass drop. Here we go. Nice. Let's see. Sounds solid. So, I mean, I'm still learning, but it really, at the end of the day, it's about balance. You know, if I'm doing like a drum heavy thing or something like that, obviously I'll emphasize the drums a little bit more. But I don't know, when you got a bunch of people showing up and they're practicing their parts and they're coming in, you know, I want them to be heard. You know, so just try to balance that out and make it all sound good. So. That's it. A lot of stock Logic plugins, which are honestly fantastic. Stock Logic Reverb. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to point out. I used to do this, and I stopped doing this. But then I started doing it again. So the trigger, I started using Valhalla Vintage Verb, and instead of sending it to a bus, I just put it right on there. But instead of mixing at 100%, it's at like 45 or whatever. So I don't remember what this sounds like, but we're going to listen to it. So this is... Oh. Okay. This is with it. Yeah. So I don't know. For right now, I just like the way that sounds versus... Because you can see over here on the side where I was like sending it to the buses. It just sounds good. So here's context of it. Listen to just drums. Oh yeah. Beefy. So beefy. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not like a bunch of like craziness to it, but yeah, if you guys got more questions or want me to do another video on something else, just let me know and I'll do another breakdown of it because I really like just talking about this stuff. So that's it. All right. Bye.